Hello, everybody, and welcome to our live session today. Just a quick update that we wanted to make today about marriage interviews being waived and all other cases that are being currently processed. And also a quick update the day before the reopening of USCIS offices. A lot of people are been waiting, and so I want to we wanted to make this announcement just kind of to keep people updated. So first of all, those of you that are joining here on the live, welcome. I'm trying these new Blu-ray glasses just to help me with the brightness and to see you guys. So welcome Paul, Joe, Daring, Candy. Let me highlight a few of you guys. Welcome. We have Jandra, Charlie. And so just wanted to give you a quick update. So tomorrow USCIS offices are going to reopen in most jurisdictions, but not all USCIS offices are going to be reopened. So that's one thing that I wanted to make clear, that not all offices are going to be open. And we have, let's see here. So most places are going to be, hey guys, thank you. Good morning. If you guys are, hey Carrie, good evening guys. So first of all, USCIS is going to reopen most of their offices in most jurisdictions, but there are certain cities where USCIS offices are not going to be open. So that's why it's really important to check with your city. We know, for example, that New York, they're not going to reopen as normal. I know that in Georgia and in some offices in Missouri, there's going to be some delays as far as we know right now. So it's important to check your local office to make sure that they're open. And once again, your interviews, the ones that have been canceled in March and April, those are going to be rescheduled, and you're going to be able to get new notices and appear for your interviews as you get those new notices, okay? Now let's talk about interview waivers. But before we start, if you guys are here for the first time, make sure you subscribe to our channel, click that bell to be notified. We do videos every single week, so I want to make sure that you guys are going to be aware. So click that bell to be notified. Videos every week. So let's talk about interview waivers. So we've been receiving quite a few waivers in the past month or so. So starting with employment-based, so we had quite a few employment-based 485s, and the way it works is that the client would notify us that they received a notice from the USCIS that their card is being produced. It's usually going to be an online notice, or they get something in the mail, and then they usually get their card in the mail within a few weeks. So we had quite a few of our employment-based EB2s, EB3s that were pending. They had some interviews waived. We also had a few 751s, which are removal of conditions, as long as the marriage. So I'm not talking about waivers. I'm talking about people that are still together and they filed for their waivers, okay, to remove the conditions. 751 to remove the conditions. Those were also waived. So we had quite a few cases like that. They were waived without an interview. And we had a few people that reported, I didn't have them in our office, but I had a few people from our Facebook group that reported that they had also some marriage-based interviews that were waived. Again, this is not very common, but that actually happened. So once again, those of you that are watching right now, there's a link in the description of this video to our private Facebook group. And I encourage you to join the group, because in the group we have members, and I ask them to report if they get interview waivers, if they get anything unusual like RFEs, they should report that in the group, and we can all kind of learn from that. So we had quite a few people that reach out and told me that they had family petitions, marriage-based interviews that were also waived. But the majority of interviews that are being waived right now are employment-based. And remember that employment-based interviews used to be waived in the past as well, before they started this in a couple of years ago. There were never interviews for employment-based, and therefore it's much easier for the USCIS to waive those as well. And I think that as they reopen, remember that they're going to start reopening gradually. And as they reopen, we expect there's going to be backlogs. So remember that if a marriage case used to take 8 to 9 months, with this new procedures, I think it's going to take 14 months or more, because they have less people right now. There's going to be more backlogs by the time interviews are going to be scheduled. So I think they have more incentive to waive interviews, right? So if cases are normal, if cases are not too complicated, they may be waiving more cases. So expect to see more employment-based interviews being waived. Expect to see even more 751s. I don't think we're going to see too many of the regular family-based cases waived, but who knows, right? We'll see what happens when they reopen. We'll see how big is the backlog, and if it's too much for them. Because remember, I made a video a few days ago regarding the new procedures to attend interviews, and they're going to be checking people in the front. There's going to be social distancing, which means less people are going to be able to come every time, which means more delays are going to happen. So I think the incentive of USCIS is going to waive more interviews. So we'll see. Maybe more family petitions are going to be waived, but so far we have quite a few people that reported that they had their cases waived, family petitions based on marriage. Those were usually people that were married more than 2 years. We have at our office 751 petitions to remove conditions. Those were also waived. And we have employment-based, EB2s, EB3s, EB1s that we're going through interviews. The way it typically works, they're going to see the case status change to card being produced. And then we know that they're going to get their card in the mail. On the family side, so one indication how you know your interview is going to be waived if you have a family-based petition, if you get a request for a medical, right? So typically people, didn't send their medical, or if their medical expired, or if they need the medical, if they send you a request just for your medical, there's a big chance that they may waive your interview because they could have asked for the medical at your interview. But if there's going to be no interview, then, the clients that get their interviews waived, they had a request for evidence for a medical, they sent that medical, and then 2 weeks later, the green card was mailed. Okay? So look out, make sure your address is updated. Okay? If your address is not updated, if you get a request for your medical or whatever they ask you and you don't respond, then your case will be put on hold, and and it's not gonna be good. So make sure your address is updated, and check online your case status regularly, okay? Because once they update it, asking for a medical or something that trivial, like in one of our employment-based cases that was waived, they asked for just pictures. They needed passport pictures. That's it. And once that was sent to them, the green card was mailed after 2 weeks. So I think there are more chances right now for more interviews to be waived, especially since they're going to be reopening. Again, not every USCIS is going to reopen on the 4th, but as they're going to reopen, they're going to there's going to be delays. Oh, thank you guys for the super chat for Courtney. Courtney, you're the best. Let me highlight Courtney right here. Any embassies or consulates open now or soon? Courtney, I'm going to answer your question in a second, and I'm going to show you guys, if you stick around, I'm going to show you a list of USCIS offices abroad, and I'm going to show you their statuses right now. So stick around, and I'll show you in a second. But what I wanted to mention to you guys is that it's really important for you to follow the status of your case, because if they ask you for that little thing, that means that they're going to be probably waiving your interview if that's the only thing they want to see. Okay? So let's take a look for a second at USCIS. And I was going to mention something before. We also had 2 cases of DV lottery people that were waived as well. So remember, DV lottery people that are in the US waiting for adjustment of status, now they're going to be opening these offices, calling you back for interviews. And so some of these people also had interviews waived because they were scheduled before and the interviews were canceled because of COVID. So they were scheduled back without an interview. So make sure you check your case status online for notifications. So if you look here, I'm sharing my screen. You can see there's a list of all these offices, USCIS offices overseas. As of now, June 3rd, you can see that Mexico City is closed. Monterrey is closed. Ciudad Juarez is still closed. We're looking at offices in China. Germany is closed. Greece temporarily closed. Thailand is closed. So these offices are still closed overseas. These are USCIS offices at the consulates. And the reason they're closed is because the US embassies and consulates are also closed. And in a previous video that I made, as I mentioned to you guys, US embassies and consulates are going to be reopening based on the individual countries. So as the conditions continue to improve in those countries, then the embassies and consulates are also going to be reopening in that schedule. So it's not going to happen in one time. It's going to happen based on the country conditions. So, expect some of the European countries to reopen sooner than maybe some of the countries in Asia. You know what I mean? So I will post, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another video probably in the next couple of days with an Excel sheet of all the embassies that are currently closed and which ones are going to be reopened. So stay tuned for that video. It's coming up in a few days. But as you saw right now, all the USCIS offices overseas are currently closed. And the reason is because the embassies are closed as well. So even though USCIS is going to reopen tomorrow in the US, they're not going to open overseas yet. It's going to happen on a case by case, depending on the country where we are, where they are located. Okay. So just to summarize, interviews are continued to be waived. We have quite a few of them that we had in our office, and we're collecting them from other people that are seeing my videos and specifically in our Facebook group. So if you're watching this video right now, make sure you join our Facebook group. There's a link below. And those of you that want to ask more specific questions about your case, if you have specific question about your case, make sure that you send me a text. The phone number is right here, 619-569-1768. If you want a consultation about your specific case, if you want to know about your interview, if it's going to be waived, any complications, delays at the embassies, anything you guys need, text this number and we'll set you up with a consultation just because you watched my YouTube video, okay? So this was an important update today because I wanted to update about interview waivers. As I said, they continue to be waived, and make sure you monitor your case status to see if they're asking for any little request for evidence, and that will indicate that your interview is going to be waived, and hopefully it's going to happen to you as well. USCIS is going to open tomorrow. And also in the last video that I've done, premium processing is also back, which means that if you have an H-1B that was filed and you want to upgrade, if you have an I-140 that you want to upgrade, you can also do the premium processing. And I made a video specifically on that, how to do that and how to upgrade. Okay, guys? So this was just a quick update. I'm not going to answer too many questions today. I just wanted to make an update because we have a lot of questions about the interview waivers. So this is the latest update, June 3rd, interview waivers. They continue to be waived, and I expect to be even more waivers coming up in the next 2 weeks as USCIS continues to reopen, because there's going to be more backlog, more delays in the interviews, and good cases are going to be exempt. Again, there's no policy on USCIS. Nothing is in writing. Everything I'm telling you, we're the first ones to report this on YouTube. You can see our first video, and I'll continue to give you these updates because you are subscribers to our channel. So if you're here for the first time watching this video, please click that bell to be notified, subscribe to our channel, and I want to make sure that you'll be able to see every time we release videos. So any questions, make sure you post them in the comments of this video. All right, I'll be back to answer those questions throughout the day. And I'm excited to have you here. Let me say hi to a few people. Norma, hello. My husband is in Albania. We've been married less than 2 years. We filed in October. Will our case be delayed due to the closure of the USCIS? It's again, your case is like everybody. Your cases are going to be delayed. So if you were waiting for a work permit for 5 months before, now it's going to take 7 months. If you're waiting for an interview to take place in 9 months, it's going to take 14 months right now. It's going to take longer, right? Expect delays in interviews for green cards. Expect delays in processing of cases, in citizenship, appointments for citizenship interviews. Everything is going to be delayed. I'll probably post another video update once they reopen, and we'll see how they do. But right now, this is the update I have for you guys. So give it a like to this video. Make sure YouTube is going to show this video to all of you, and make sure you subscribe to our channel. It's videos every week. So any questions, post them in the comments below, and I'll be back with a video about the embassies. We're going to do a video about the embassies. We're going to run through some of these embassies and try to show you kind of like where they stand and when they're going to reopen based on some of the predictions. We're going to do some videos coming up about the OPT, some of the OPT support coming from some of the congressmen, and some of the updates about the ban of the Chinese students. So we'll make some videos about that. Stay tuned. Thank you for being a subscriber. Thank you for being amazing people. Stay safe out there. Don't forget to subscribe, comments below, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching this video. And like I said, at the end of this video, click the link to join our Facebook group, and you can post those comments in the video so we'll be able to come back and answer your questions, because I wasn't able to answer them right now. Thank you guys. Have a beautiful day. I love you all.